So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
The talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father? He never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
My God! What? Monsieur Carchon!
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Collard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer. Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him. It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down. Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. Carchon had been shot. In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. I had closed his eyes. Rigor mortis hadn't set in yet. I opened his eyes. Best to leave the crime scene as I found it. I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself. This was the work of the mime. Unless the cat was in on it too.
Da.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Corg, nu mai auzit?
Nu, ce?
Ce parte ai jucat la Monkey Island?
A treia.
Și câte? Mai sunt primele două?
Sunt primele două din astea
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Și doar 3 sunt în total sau poate chiar sau mai multe sunt? Câte sunt?
Tiny hole in the tabletop.
Nu știu sigur dacă mai e o parte a patra, dar știu că partea a patra e ceva făcut pe episoade și mi-e foarte greu să găsesc jocurile alea ca falimentar.
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole. Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming. It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the color I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Ce ai spus?
Mă uit cum arată, mă uit pe YouTube
Imelda
la
had
primul Monkey
talent,
Island.
but I certainly wasn't going to tell her.
Vezi că e și o versiune remasterizată. E una super urâtă în pixel gen.
Păi aia asta, în pixel.
Și mai e una refăcută.
Imelda looked shocked, but still every bit as hostile. Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
Uite,
We
asta e
shall
altfel.
see.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this. There was no one I needed to phone. A fine Baroque door. It would look great in my apartment. Now we were getting somewhere. The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks. Behind the picture was a safe. In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Cachon was past caring. As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision. I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank. The in tray, like everything else in this place, was beautiful. One day I was going to have an in tray like that, even if I had to sell my apartment to pay for it. My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda. No. It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on. The paint would have just soaked into the blotting paper, but the idea was good. The blotter was flat already, rolling the cylinder, putting the paint straight on the cylinder. I smeared the paint all over the cloth, when I hoped that they don't. Rubbing the cloth, I need. It was a sheet of blot. Its cracks. I wiped the paint. It took me such. Genius. It was some kind of coded message. It read, sub judice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized the boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The Conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law courts. Below I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to... And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely... This wasn't the time for me to lie on the sofa doing my math, though it is very popular part. The sofa was antique. For one horrible... I had an image of a naked Carchon wriggling around on it with a young journalist. Locked, not surprised. I didn't need the lights on. It was light. Did you find anything? This carving. Do you know anything about? It was Pierre's. What is this statue? Please, I need to know. He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa. He never explained any more? No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why? It was carved by my father. Oh, I see. I didn't know. Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer. Thank you, my dear. And if the police ask, don't worry. You were never here. Sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting... Carchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed. This fence was a permanent fixture. The fence... This... The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on... I knew I was on the right track. tried pushing. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Mamă, ce ăla-i puzzle acolo, ce era?
E puzzle, l-am făcut.
Yes! One down, one to go.
Super. Ce mai am unul aici? Ok. What? Okay. Mamă, ce joc greu.
Îți naști pe astea.
Da, e grele.
Ți-ai dat seama?
Nu chiar.
Ți-a scris unul cel.
Nu văd nimic din chat, nu văd chat-ul. A scris cineva pe chat? Eu nu văd. Nu văd chat-ul. Ce-a scris?
Că nu ai ce face, îți faci de lucru, dă nășel.
Ah, da. Poate îmi dă și follow. Asta clar vine așa. Opa, ce avem aici? Ce?
Cine e ăla?
Cine-i cine? Tănășel?
Da, Tropi 16.
Tănășel e cu mine la ligă. E veteran.
Hey. Scrie acolo ceva, văd.
Nu știu, că eu nu văd, nu știu de ce nu văd chat-ul. Acum stau să văd. Scrie ceva azi.
Da, vezi ce scrie?
Nu văd chat-ul, nu știu de ce. Am dat refresh la chat, ea scrie. Acum văd. Acum văd chat-ul.
Hai să spun ce a scris.
Te rog.
Ah, uite asta a scris. Da, aia de jos de tot e fix aia care desface tot. Am înțeles. Ah. Mă bate grav jocul acesta. Asta am dus-o aici. Acum trebuie să o duc pe asta aici și gata.
Nothing like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
Oh, Doamne!
De ce nu faci stream la Skyrim? Acolo e
For
mai
a room
interesant.
full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This place was definitely fishy, in more ways than one.
De ce nu faci?
O să
Eu m-aș
apară-
uita la tine.
O să apară oricum Siro.
6-le?
Da, 6.
The skiff hadn't been touched for years. I've got an exercise bike just like that.
Ia să vedem când apar.
Oops.
Hey, mersi de follow, Dănășel.
An old shell case. I wondered what that was doing there. The brass case was smooth. No handle, nothing
apare
obvious. But a rough hole
Ce
was
anume?
cut into the pillar.
Când apare Elder Scrolls 6?
The
Cred că la
words
toamnă.
sinister and
E
Dexter
online sau e tot
were
single player
carved on
campaign?
either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right,
Știi
right.
ceva?
But what did it mean here?
Dacă eu merge online
The
sau...
hole was too small even for my little hand.
Dacă merge online,
Da.
nu. Nu merge online.
Mystery solved. Carchon's stone set with a satisfying click.
Trebuie să apară și GTA 6.
Ok. S.
Rolling out the painted cylinder had given me a print of a secret message. It read, Subjudice. Below it was a sequence of letters, S, D, S, S, D, S, S. A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a... Another click. Another step closer.
Deci era S. Perfect.
I love the sound of locks clicking open. The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. Oh my god! The slab came down with a hell of a force. With nothing to hold it up, the cross...
Okay.
The cross... Lifting the cross closed the entrance door and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious. The stone cross
Metin
was
2
propped up.
cornuri. L-ai tras?
Da. Dar nu
Ce
prea
zici,
place.
A round slot,
Ai
precisely
Da,
carved.
dar nu-mi place.
I touched the slot, which was good. I've always been attached to my fingers. This slot was designed for something specific. No way.
Cred că trebuie să mă întorc să iau ceva.
Poftim?
I removed the
Ce-ai zis?
Că am impresia că trebuie să mă întorc să iau ceva.
ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté again. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew. I removed...
Așa. Așa, da.
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life. But whatever had been triggered... I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of... The gap was too narrow. I needed something... The brass case was smooth and perfectly round.
Vrei să jucăm Fortnite? Sau nu l-ai?
The cross didn't drop back down.
Opa. Nu, stai că știu, cred că da, gata, știu ce trebuie să fac. Ce înseamnă să fie creierul prost.
Maestro.
The cross was firmly propped up.
Ma.
Ce e?
I removed the shell case.
Ma.
No.
Oare trebuie să fac eu asta?
The stone slab. A round slot. I removed the shell case.
Bingo!
Another secret room. Somebody had something to hide. But was it what I was looking for? Wow! Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how did it tie in with Carchon? Amazing! A slot. It was like being back in kindergarten. Or Lady Justice stared out from a stone.
Oare dacă mă întorc și iau asta, ușa rămâne deschisă? No! No!
I removed the shell case.
Asta seamănă cu cilindrul
A door
ăla de
like
piatră.
that always has something.
Hai să vedem. Cheia asta? Nu, clar nu.
The desks were covered with a layer of dust. I wasn't going to find anything in this old desk.
E ceva pe aici?
Inside the drawer, I found a note. It was pretty clear from the lack of dust that someone had been working very recently at this desk. Oh my God! The sheet was a printout with my personal information. Everything. They were right about chocolate. But come on, guys, I'm a size 10. There was even a picture of me, taken with a telephoto lens. Carchon wouldn't have taken these pictures himself. This was big and organized. I was part of it, and people were getting murdered. The dregs at the bottom of the mug hadn't dried out or gone moldy. It wasn't more than a day old.
Merci de follow.
This was the article I'd written about the costume killer. My suspicions were right. Carchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One
Yes,
in
please.
Italy, one in
Pop
Japan.
jump.
In each case, the killer had worn a costume. Both the victims had been big media do-gooders, and I proved they were just the... So, how did they fit in with Carchon?
Ok. Ok. Franco Belea, followerul suprem, îmi trebuie un pic și o foaie mai puțin. Este timpul să traducem. E W A M A Ok. A, nu e așa. Vai, cum e jocul ăsta. Hai să vedem. Dacă are sens așa. Pup. Cred că știu cum. Indeed. Nu e bine. Ok. Asta să zicem că e O. Nu e bine. Hai să o luăm altfel. Nu e bine. Chat-ul spune ceva? Pierre. Pierre, are sens. It. Nu. Rep. Ok, asta e O atunci. Și asta este T. Report to. Bun. Give. Nu, nu e bine. Full report. Full report. Da. Păi după aia trebuie să fie intuitiv. F-ul e ăsta. Ăsta e L-ul. Și ăsta este U. Ăsta e O. Avem O, nu e. E P. Avem P. Follow, ăsta e W. Follow. S. H. H-ul e ăsta. Hu, S. Full report to follow. S. Păi da, ăla nu e P. Aici. Și nu e O. G. Gat. C. Cat. Cat. This is too urgent. Asta e G. Și asta e N. Wait. Asta e A. Great. Take. G. E luat. S. E luat. D. C. Days. Seeds. It seeds. Sau it needs. Hai să zicem că ăsta ar fi D. Are no end. B. But this is too urgent to wait. Are no end. Both dead. This is not a coincidence. I did. Indeed, it seems. Indeed, it seems that all are in danger. All of us who came together in. In July are in danger. Take great care.
I had decrypted the note. It read, Pierre. Full report to follow. But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X. I wasn't the only one to make the connection between the costume killer murders. I'd been right all along. That was why he had asked to meet me. But what did I know that he didn't?
Și totuși trebuie să fac ceva cu asta. Asta clar nu e aici. N-are nicio treabă.
Lady Justice stared out from a stone door, which was locked and reinforced.
Mai am ceva de făcut aici. Mai trebuie, cred că, să mă uit încă o dată în dulap, în sertar.
Damn, don't you... A photo, long lost, had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon. Behind him were soldiers, a burning village and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself, Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket to one explosive story. I had enough for a story, an amazing story that was going to make my reputation and blow Carchon's to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
Puzzle-ul cu capra. Îl țin minte, cred că mi-a dat joc cu Crash, nu mi-a dat.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, you cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Of course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's important.
It's suicidal. You can't destroy a national hero.
He deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd found. You loved it. You begged me to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't they?
Listen up, Nicole, and listen good. Pierre Carchon had a lot of friends, powerful friends. For your own sake.
Forget what happened.
You got it. End of conversation. Good night.
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would.
Eu l-am jucat în 2003 prima dată ăsta. L-am câștigat la revista Level. Și după aia... Nu l-am terminat atunci, dar l-am terminat cred că pe clasa 8.
Mademoiselle Collard, my name is Plantard. I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did you know about that?
There are people out there, madame, who will be very upset by this story.
Oh, really? Well, it's their lucky day. It's been spiked.
Yes, I know. We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one about this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
People complain about newspaper articles all the time, but not usually before they're printed. I was beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
E și un apartament.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobart charm, I guess. Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
Și acum jucăm practic jocul cu George.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. One minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was going to do. I was going to find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty and equality and fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that and the money, of course. The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman. The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read, Salah Eddin, 1345. The column was devoted exclusively to rumor. The sight of the dead guy's staring eyes. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page. I needed a stiff drink, but I hated the taste of brandy.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobart, ma'am. You look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
No, but I used to play hospitals when I was a kid. Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
Is that straight or with ice?
Just give me the bottle with a teat on it.
I guess a little drop won't hurt.
That's better.
She knocked back the brandy as if it was water. I was glad I wasn't picking up the check. Hey, wake up! She didn't respond. It was the body of the old man. It was... I checked his pocket. The clown had fled into this alley, but there was no sign of him now. There was nothing of interest. It smelled like someone had dumped a truck. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drainpipe. I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops. I decided... The cover...
Please, hold it right there.
Oh, don't shoot. I'm innocent.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant. Move. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no. I would simply like to ask you. En avant, to the cafe. What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead? Move.
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead.
Examine the girl and... Et maintenant... And what?
Trap.
Where...
I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon. The picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Move?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd, don't you think, monsieur? Who am I to believe? I wonder. Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all.
There's not much
on the surface. If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi. My name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yep, that's right. On vacation in Paris. Some vacation, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out in front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with a...
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What is that, some kind of nightclub?
Oh, no, it's a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing. An eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
A clown? It's him again.
I found this newspaper out...
That is not a newspaper, it's a gossip rag.
There's something written in it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
It sounds like a betting tip. The name of the horse and the time of the race. What do you think?
That's what I thought. But the name of the meeting isn't given.
Well, so what? I'm not the least bit interested in horse racing, are you?
No, but it could be a clue to the killer's next move.
Do you think his next victim will be the jockey? Or the horse?
She looked at me with a playful Okay, it's a long... Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Planta. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Well, not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Why won't you tell me about the clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. I'll be on some, monsieur.
Fine. I'll see you soon.
What do you think?
I was admiring your toolbox.
Oh, wait? Had a good look, have you? I'm warning you, if you touch it, I'll crack your nut.
Okay, I get your point.
Hey!
Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, those automatics were quite a punch.
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist?
He was only doing his duty, I guess. Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Bah! Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Cha! Save the dolphins, catch them and eat them myself. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is. Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
I'd found just what I wanted. I lifted the cover. As I picked up the plastic, it was the clown's. I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnapped.
Hi there. Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back. And now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
A telephone. I need to make an urgent call.
There is no telephone here. I want to know what you were doing in the sewer.
Didn't you hear the explosion?
In the sewer? A deadly cocktail of combustible gases and chemicals, most likely.
No, at the cafe. A deadly cocktail of accordion music and...
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu, that is awful. Did you say accordion music?
Yeah, that fiend had no mercy. He was disguised as a clown. By the time the bomb went off, he'd run to the sewer and made his escape.
Ah, mon Dieu. Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just...
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipe was such an attraction.
Take a look at this false nose.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
Do you recognize...
I am...
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh, thank heavens. A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster.
That's what...
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type. Just like you.
Does the name Plantar mean anything?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the... I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Bravo! You need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
What does this tissue mean?
Nothing, monsieur. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone has emptied their nostrils into it.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
Mm-hmm. What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Mm-hmm. Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you...
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Does the name...
No, it doesn't.
Do you know the waitress?
You can't...
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, she came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no. He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
That is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Now, about the jacket you found.
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pocket?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind. What was the name on the label?
It was a foreign name.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout.
E dubios asta.
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
This is what I use to open...
I have one just the same as that, monsieur. I will fetch it if you like.
No, don't bother.
Oh, it is no bother, monsieur.
Nah, forget it.
Just trying to be helpful.
I have to be going.
Thanks, Raymond. Good luck is...
So the clown had escaped into the sewer, come up, and then slipped back. It wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had got.
Hello? Who is this?
Hi. My name...
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth.
Thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Do you know a guy called...
No.
Shall I tell you what happened? How he was killed?
I told you. I never heard of...
What do you know about the clown who bombed the...
I don't have no idea.
You're cool.
I don't...
Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know...
I expect Plantar's a family man in their little apartment. You can't... Only tonight?
You forgot the pup.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you...
I don't know, Plantar. None of it...
Thanks for nothing.
Hello, Nico Kula.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
You said to call.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the... And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
I was used to working alone, but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there. But who was on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my...
You have no messages.
It was the first one I ever took, with the first camera he ever bought me.
No, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. No, I'm not giving up on you. 'Cause I feel like if we work at it, we'll make it through the rain.
Lol.
Mademoiselle Collard. Oh, hello there. Don't tell me I'm going to meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so. Why?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Anyway, your cousin's female and very pretty.
What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And in my apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were all...
I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine. Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, I'd better be going.
Au revoir, ma...
The door was locked.
Hello, could I ask you some questions?
That depends. Are you a cop?
No, I'm a
Până vine
journalist.
George, mai durează.
They already took away the body.
I'm doing a follow-up on this story. Tell me, are you related to the workman I saw digging the ore?
Don't talk to me about flopage. Pah!
Okay.
He just won a fortune on the horses and he won't give me a cent.
Well, it's his money.
When he was broke, he was happy to touch me for a loan. Brothers should look after each other, he used to say. He's changed his tune, now he's brass.
Have the police finished with the crime scene?
What does it look like? I got orders to board up the windows, and that's what I'm doing.
So the body's been removed?
I certainly hope so, or it'll stink to high heaven when they take down these boards.
Shouldn't you check?
Are you kidding? They don't pay me enough to put up boards, let alone check for dead bodies.
You're doing a fine job.
Damn right I am.
The heroes who pick up...
Exactly.
Well...
Oh.
Hello?
Yes?
You see this ticket?
Are you trying to...
No.
I don't blame you, of course. Good-looking fella like me.
I need to take some more pictures.
Of course. My pleasure.
Just give me a moment.
The police had removed the body, but nothing else looked disturbed. Oops, stupid thing.
A panel had been blown away, revealing a gap. From this angle, I could see that something had... Behind the table was some damaged... Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. I was on the right track. There was nothing of interest.
Hey, what about my photos?
Oh, of course. I'll go.
Well, I'm waiting.
Camera. Oh, I forgot.
Alors, they should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough, and found the evidence the police had missed. I wondered what was in Plantard's pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items: a strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code. Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Carchon. Plantard. Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arnaud and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her, and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for. I needed to take a closer look at the objects I'd... The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel, in the room below the conciergerie. The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
Okay.
The slap.
Mersi, mersi.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too. A photograph had been torn up. If I could just arrange the pieces.
Încă un puzzle.
Oh my god. It can't be.
Măcar ăsta e ușor.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, standing with Crachon, while those murderers carried on. My father, grinning at the camera. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future? I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to. Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of...
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. I've changed my mind. Will you tell my...
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know? How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the dam. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall. And he kept his face hidden. But I saw his eyes.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with a hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
What can you tell me?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Remembering the flower seller's advice.
Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George. A beer?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
My editor told me to drop this story.
But you're not gonna do that.
Oh, no. I'm going to find out. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone. I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. I found a piece of material near the cafe.
Au.
When
Ce
I showed
bucată
him
mare.
downstairs, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until I develop the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
I found this tissue down the... No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint. Like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get...
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arnaud Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mine to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with...
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death. Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
I have to go.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind. For in these four walls, fantasy...
I
Proastă
don't
idee.
want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui? He was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Card.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall.
What does this...
Nothing, Monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Allow...
Huh? What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of...
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
It was just some police paperwork. Sergeant Moo?
Ah, Monsieur Stobart.
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is our...
Yes, sure. Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur. It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobart. My mind, a mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
But
I've been taken off the case.
what about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantau.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No. You must forget the business of the crown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobart.
So long, Inspector. you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his right cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the...
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you any...
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantau.
Is that so?
Ăștia sunt dubioși de la poliție.
No, but
we'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
See you later, Sergeant. Hi there, remember me?
Ah, Mary.
Who?
The man in the sewer.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what?
I take a lot of showers.
Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
La ce te referi exact, Robert? Dacă vrei să vorbim, poți să-ți dau un canal de Discord dacă ai.
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ulu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
Hopa, hopa.
Așa.
Ce faci?
Bă, mă uitam la jocul ăsta.
Dacă îmi vorbesc și mă suprapun cu dialogul din joc, se aude bine?
Se aude mai...
Mai nașpa, se aude tare dialogul, nu?
Nu, se aude în reluare, se aude după nu știu cât timp.
Nu știu, asta e pentru că nu e conexiunea constantă.
Am dat.
Tu știi jocul ăsta?
Da, l-am jucat.
Pe bune?
L-am jucat, dar mai mi-e aminte decât un pic alea.
Păi și eu când l-am jucat prima oară era fără Director's Edition. Liga, cine să te sune?
Cală. Uite pe aceea, în zona noastră cu Orlando, discuță.
Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What made you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangs.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens!
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip.
I believe what you're thinking of is
Ne auzim mâine
dick.
dimineața la telefon, ca să nu găsești ele, știi?
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with
Ne
only
auzim cam
one
10-11
person
așa.
named Khan.
Ok?
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol.
Oh, noapte minunată. Ne auzim.
Kevin Khan?
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist. Organizes fundraising for the road.
Does he have a scar on his...
I really wouldn't know.
Lol.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
O mai știi pe baba asta?
Ai nevoie, știi care e chestia? La jocul ăsta ai nevoie de o răbdare de aia cât o ceam.
Da, păi astăzi terminai Curse of the Monkey Island și urcai pe YouTube.
Mamă, frate, cât
3, partea a treia.
It gave me the opportunity to
3.
take a well-deserved holiday.
Și o să le joc și pe primele două îndată ce, dar nu știu, cred că joc ediția remasterizată.
Take your mind off the English. Well, the closest I came
Ți minte că am jucat jocul ăla, bă, băiatule, până am ieșit din corabia încă piat.
I must say I
A, la început de tot?
Da, trebuia să iei diamantul ăla cu inelul, să tai...
Da, cu inelul, să tai geamul. Păi și eu, adică vreo 80% din memorie l-am făcut. Plus că în prima parte a filmării am avut pe cineva, o fată care mi-a intrat străină, știi, random așa. Și mai scria pe chat.
Jocul ăsta l-am jucat când eram mic, mă, vere, ai chestia.
Păi și eu toate le-am jucat când eram mic. Și ăsta la fel. Eu la ăsta cel mai mult și cel mai mult am stat în Irlanda și în Spania. Deci acolo era... În Spania și acum mi se pare foarte greu. În Irlanda mă mai descurcă de la capra aia am stat.
Știu, puzzle.
Doamne, capra aia cum era.
But it wasn't to be. He was merely
Ui, mei,
toying
te
with
văd
my
pe ce
affections. And if I ever catch up with him,
Păi văd că nici tu n-ai ce să faci în seara asta.
Păi aștept pe căcănarii ăștia, să-l aștept pe Ceau, să iese că joacă în puii mei, Ranked, la League of Legends.
Bă, m-aș băga și eu, dar eu am low priority, mai am un match.
Păi nu-i problemă, că 20 de minute?
God, it's him. That's Merlin.
She represented everything I loved. Merlin?
20 de minute în queue, dar dacă îi jucăm în altă zi.
Păi nu, uite, poți să-i dai drumul acum, că dăm drumul la un aram și până mai faci tu treaba acolo,
Păi,
trece timpul.
cred că mai stau să streamez, stai să văd cât streamai pe ăsta.
Păi nu, zic, când
2
până
ore.
faci tu ăla, știi?
Păi, nu știu ce să zic. Aș mai sta un pic pe ăsta și de-aia mă gândeam că poate jucăm gen mâine sau zilele astea, apropo, Paște înviat.
Nu te încui, mei. La mine știi cum e cu Hristos a înviat?
Nu.
Nu e adevărat a înviat, adevărat e viu, că nu mai învie de 100.000 de ori.
Ah, lol.
Da.
He came downstairs and spoke to that
Da, deci dacă
clerk.
mi se zice cineva să vii, dacă mi se zice cineva Hristos a înviat, eu spun Hristos e viu, adevărat e viu.
No, smaller than that.
Și o stare să zic că a înviat, de câte ori îl învie ăștia?
În fiecare an. Da, avea Aegis-ul luat la 10-11 minute.
Obviously something of great importance.
Bă, îmi place că...
Da, îți dai seama că...
Astea de mentale.
Păi nu le-am mai jucat de mult, astea așa, am avut eu un click din ăla, știi?
Mi-a plăcut în general jocurile de aventură, foarte.
Băi, astea le-am descoperit toate când era revista Level.
Da, mă, da, uite, să aminte de ele, și de chip iar era, de chip.
I can think of someone I'd like to.
Acolo s-ar putea mai mult despre plăcile video și după aia jocurile care le puteai juca.
Da, cam așa.
Avea taică nu de alea de...
You're that no yes.
Și joacă ăsta League of Legends.
You know, mysterious.
What
you're talking.
Stai un pic, că... Stai așa, că vreau să dau jocul mai încet. Că te aud sub joc.
Stai să intru să văd... Ăsta nu intră astăzi la pe stream? Ce astăzi? Duminică? Normal. Ia uite. Zic că eu bag-o, nu intră.
Nu-l urmăresc.
Eu îl urmăresc de aia. Oricum nu pot, dădui mută la joc, la stream, că pui mine, se Înțelegi, tu se suprapun și nu mai înțelege. E interesant joc, pe bune. Pe bune l-am mai jucat de mult. Oricum, în Franța n-am ajuns pe aici. Decât am trăit la început, știi? Până am să știu la a doua scrisoare de decifrat.
Ah, da, mamă. Dar se pare că literele cred că erau aceleași.
Da, aceeași literele.
Da. Păi bine, îmi dădu și mie Franco, îmi dădu spoilerul ăla pe chat mai devreme cu Pierre și de acolo se legă tot și după aia nu știu de ce nu mă prinsă imediat că e Plantard la a doua.
A, și faza aia care ți eu cu I don't give a fuck e un fel de încercau să se spere pe mâini de el.
Da, nu e important dialogul ăsta.
N-aveau chef polițaii de...
Păi polițiștii oricum în joc mai târziu sunt parte din aia, știi?
Oricum ai de tras. Nu e chiar așa.
Cât de gay e băiatul ăsta de la recepție. Nu, dar mie nu-mi place cum te aud.
De ce se aude?
Te aud așa, bustat.
Bustat?
Da.
Dar dacă ăștia bani să mă aud bustat, stai să dau la setări pe aici, poate e pe rumbai la mine. Video, la max.
Stai puțin, că aici dialogul cu ăsta e irelevant. Ok.
Irrelevant.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown. I told you.
Așa.
Topi o sticlă de 750 de ml de bere.
Nu știam că bei alcool acasă, gen.
Păi, bă, ce are?
Acum îmi dau ăștia japcă.
Atâta timp că pe mine nu mă vezi niciodată beat, să prin șanțuri și alea, atunci...
Da, eu când îs beat îs doar mai retardat decât de obicei.
Eu când sunt băut, așa mult, vorbesc mult, înțelegi? Deci nu mi mai tace gura.
Știu ce zici.
Da, mai bine așa decât să fiu de la disperat, să mă băt, să...
Da, nu, nici nu-mi place. Berea, de exemplu, nu prea îmi place să beau în general.
Bă, e singurul lucru care mai îmi place, că vinul, am fost toată la București și m-am îmbătat de acolo și mi-a venit rău și a zis că nu mai beau în viața mea vin. Vișinat, am fost la cineva acasă, tot așa, am băgat shoturi de vișinat, am zis că nu mai beau în viața mea. Stai că o să mă lăcui și de bere. Încă mai acceptabil, înțelegi?
Da. Tu vii la Iași, nu?
Da. Asta că și tu vii. Chechenearu. Mamă, să vezi ce mă distrez de data asta. Să sperăm că o să fie cald. De soare.
Să fie mișto la Iași.
Da. Când suntem? 9 din 10. Ar mai fi un loc. Că au văzut că nu vine ăla, cum se cheamă.
Cine?
Foaneni.
Pe ăla l-am văzut prima oară la curățare.
N-a prea fost. Văd că e aici.
El e membru vechi așa?
Da, de anul trecut. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, din care... Da, 2, 12, da.
Ah, gata, mi-am amintit cum se iau cheia, trebuie să vorbesc cu tanti.
Deci, a zis că fără Pleșan și fără Fonene.
Păi Mihaela nu vine?
Nu vine, trimite pe altcineva în locul ei. Era vorba că vine, cum îl cheamă? Rostalau de... Mamă, ce scapă numele lui.
Cine?
Ăsta mă, cum îl cheamă?
Ceau?
Prostule. Nu, Ștefan.
Moșoi.
Aha.
Conducătorul la gunoi.
Prostul pământului. El a fost, nu știu câți ani, președinte. Dar adevărul, când era el președinte, frate...
Dar ăsta nu e student, nu?
Ba, e student.
E student.
Păi, da.
Și când era președinte, cum era?
Tot student.
Nu, gen, cum că ai zis tu, păi când era președinte, nu știu ce, nu știu cum.
Era președinte, parcă era mai ok, dar când era el, să-mi trag palmele, de parcă trăgea la muște, toată lumea trăgea la el. Era plin, a fost și, cred că 60 odată într-o zi.
Un fel de bivolaru.
Du-te, mă, deci. Da, a fost un fel de bivolaru. Îmi trag palme, intră unul cu mine să jucăm.
Da, chiar cât e ceasul?
E 11:31. Dar lui, corească. Ăsta văd că joacă rancheturi, om. Stai un pic acolo, scuze-mă că...
Nu-i bai, oricum ne înțelegem mai greuț.
Vorbi cu el înainte și zice că joacă niște rancheturi cu vărusul și după aia intră și el la niște ram. Da, văd că o lopă... o lopă vin, cum să zic. O lopă ulei și joacă numai rancheturi. Așa că o să jucăm decât nosotros dos.
Aramos.
Mamă, Corliș, o să mergem cu trenul, nu? Stai un pic, ca Soreascu, aleacă. Să mergem cu trenul 12 ore să căpiem. 14 ore.
15.
15 ore cu tot cu schimb de la București.
Cam așa.
O să plecăm, da, o să plecăm la Iași iar. La gala de 10. Și o să mergem iar la Iași și o să fie... Să sperăm că o să fie fain. Pe 8 plecăm, pe 9 ne cazăm și pe 10 avem gala.
Deci am stabilit toți până la urmă, plecăm pe 8.
Păi nu, așa trebuie.
Păi știu, dar unii ziceau că vor să plece pe 9 seara să ajungă dimineața la gală sau nu mai știu ce.
Cum?
Că vor să plece pe 9 seara să ajungă dimineața la gală.
Păi de prostie, frate. N-ai timp să mai socializezi, să lele. Tu cum ai vrea să mergi?
Nu știu.
Vorbesc cu cineva, șef. Stai un pic. Sunt cu altcineva pe Discord. Stai că lăsai mesajul ăsta.
Dă-i link-ul, că ți-am dat admin.
Nu, că suntem pe joc și o să jucăm în curând, știi, și rămânem pe tot ăla.
Ok.
Păi și tu cum vrei, mă, să mergi, Corli?
Unde să merg?
La Iași, nu mergem?
Ba da, eu merg cu voi pe 8.
Așa e frumos, mă, mergem noi ca lumea. Să fim odihniți, pe 9 ne mai dăm și noi o tură prin Iașul ăla, că e super de frumos. Nu știu dacă îți place să te plimbi pe jos. Nu prea.
Nu atât de mult.
Dăm o tură, două pe acolo.
Să merg pe jos? Eu cream că să merg în general, să călătoresc.
Acolo, mă, prin Iași. Mergem că am văzut un parc acolo, fain, șmecher. Așa, bem o berică pe undeva în sus. Și după aia vedem noi. Mai vorbim cu fetele, că am câteva fete pe acolo și le scoatem la o gură de aer. Asta intră iar la ranchet, dă-l în puime de tot. Joacă singur.
Dar tu poți să intri în setări la sunet și să îți faci microfonul să nu sune așa, să scoți din boost.
Da.
Scoate-i boostul ăla. Că te aud așa și peste vocile, peste dialogul din joc e... Boa, mă sparge.
Ia vezi. E mai bine așa?
Da, e mult mai bine.
E bine. Păi,
te aud mai clar.
Rămân aici și joc cu prietenul ăsta meu sau te las până termin meciul?
Păi eu oricum nu știu dacă joc acum, că asta e chestia.
Păi nu zic, ziceam să ies de pe Discord și oricum rămân pe live pe ăla tău.
Follow me, George!
Dar ce pui mi-ai ieșit de 2 eroare pe Twitch? Ah, da. Îți reveni. Dar hai că îți mai scriu pe ăla, știi? Dar să mai intru eu din când în când pe... Dacă ești pe grup. Rămân... O să intru undeva. Ok?
Ok, man. Ok. Te-am pupat, pa!
Ciao.
My pleasure, Lady Fairmont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Fairmont.
Voila, monsieur.
Voilà, monsieur.
Thanks. The clerk, I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Black.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let's go.
The manuscript. I couldn't wait. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, George.
You're just not going to believe what I found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval... Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Templars?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered.
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You We'd better leave it here for safekeeping.
I found this matchbook in the It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue. And that's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir. Do you have a boyfriend?
Nothing. There was someone. A guy in my final year, but it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Tell me more about your family.
When I was a little girl, I used to spend the winter with my grandfather and grandma. They were the best times. Warm and safe in their tiny cottage. My grandfather rolled cigarettes while grandma made hot chocolate and cakes. One day, he stopped his rolling. He put the lid back on his tobacco jar and took me in his arms. I laughed and wriggled, but he hushed me to be silent. With his unshaven chin all scratchy in my ear, he told me his secret.
What did he say?
He said, I don't smoke, but she likes to think I do.
What a weird old man.
Don't call my grandfather weird. He was the nicest guy ever. I wish I was back in that cottage instead of this crummy apartment in this noisy city.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful...
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking? I found this.
What is it?
ID. Thomas Merlin of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him.
Let's take another look. There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tree. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats a couple boxes.
A knight with a crystal ball. And there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said, mirror, mirror on the... She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me...
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile and people...
Look there. Let's face it, we need help. Someone who knows about...
Who do you suggest?
I know a guy who specializes... His name is Lobby.
Huh. Some stuffy old boss who will get...
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lovino guy?
At the Quinn Museum. I'll give you the address.
I have to go.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobino at the Quinn Museum.
Pardon me. Oui, monsieur?
Are you Lovino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me. No. I am,
But Lovino does work.
well, okay. I wouldn't go so far. He studied here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not.
Do you know anything about the...
No, sir. Not.
Do you know anything about medieval man?
Not me, monsieur. I am not. It is the uniform again, sir. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park. No, no, no. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you...
Of course not. Not like.
Thanks. In the case was a spin... It was identical notice identified it as 15th century. It had been found in Lochmarn at the site of a Knights Templar. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your...
I'm sorry. Hi. I've been...
Did you speak to...
No, he wasn't there. I found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged... It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Lochmarn.
I have heard of Lochmarn. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Professor Nigel Pegram, excavating the medieval castle of Lochmarn. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he canceled the filming of a 4th series of his popular television program. This site at Lochmarn must be awful.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this professor. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointing.
Huh?
But I won't be going. I want to follow up the Bellotta case. If you really think Pegram's dam is important, why don't you visit Lochmarn?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly? Have you found out any...
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clan's victims visited Paris.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know.
I have to go.
Okay.
I passed the castle on the way into Lochmarn, the castle where Pegram's excavation was located.
Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
Rosso's the name. Murder's my game.
You a detective?
Let's just say I'm here to find the truth.
Just like on the telly?
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And they used to pour our mother, bedridden and died of presumption. Tried fire medicine. Chopped pot the old infant cheating me too. Look, man, but when suddenly I'm up.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strict. Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year. What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No.
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'll give you one last...
Oh, yeah?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom of Lochmarn.
You're not telling me you believe me.
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes last Tuesday night. I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
Horrible snuffling and snorting, like O'Brien's pig, only worse. It was coming from inside the castle.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty. The moon was cracked and greasy like an old dinner plate. The yard was full of shadows. I could have been hiding in it. I would have gone home, but my legs had lost their stuffing.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse, waited while the moon went down. And out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Well, I fell off the bloody wall.
I'm sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw.
There is. The bloody place.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean if he's the one.
Can you tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No, I can't, because he's not here now. But if I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure. Jewels and gold and skeletons, like in the film.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmar, they all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus.
O, salut, Kisha. Vrei să mă joc Dota cu tine, man?
Sounds suitable for a kid.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 20.
Yeah, right. You're not a day over 40.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married 10 kids if you count the wives.
Have you ever... See you later, kid.
Okay.
Morning to you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that's what you Irish say.
Do you want something? Or are you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well, I was trying to be sociable.
Is it a room you're after?
It's not a bad idea. Do you have a vacancy?
I could. If you don't mind waiting until the last guest checks out.
No problem. When will that be?
When the undertaker comes to collect him.
Does this tissue mean it?
That's...
Oops.
What's the... Do you know a man called...
Indeed I do. Are you a friend of his?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to...
Me too. That son of a bitch should be locked away.
Did Pegram stay here?
Yes, he did. 6 months.
I'll try a glass...
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess...
Beer that's brewed from natural ingredients to traditional... It shouldn't be... And
in other words, it's flat and warm with bits in, and it makes you fall over. Have you served any,
No.
Do you reckon...
No, I don't.
I've got a score to settle.
I don't want any trouble in the... If it's a fight you're looking for, see Father Mahoney.
A priest? A man of the cloth?
Sure. And he teaches the boys how to box at the youth club. According to Mahoney, it develops character. Isn't that right, Pat? Didn't he teach you the art of pugilism?
Doyle. Sorry, Michael. I was miles away. What did you say?
Never.
Look, I gotta be Hi, my name's... Hello there, mister. What?
Can you tell me anything about...
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He doesn't join that run. Would you be one of them history fellows yourself?
That's right. Professor Stobart, Miskatonic University.
You're an archaeologist, and you're asking us about...
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien. The gentleman was talking to me. How come you didn't leave with the others?
I didn't know they'd gone.
Oh, yes. Packed their spades and shovels and away they went.
Seems I missed all the excitement.
What excitement?
Do you know Professor...
Do I know him? No, I know... No, I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact?
Is the science of archaeology possible?
Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers. Fast food cartons and baby condoms, more likely.
Did anyone from the village work at Pegram's Dig?
I tried it myself, but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a nerve. Hadn't I done more homes than the rest of them put together?
Bye for now. Hello there.
My name is pleased to meet you, I'm sure. I'm O'Brien.
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful...
So it's not just... There really is a Phantom.
Oh, no. I was talking about the Phantom there.
Have you ever heard of the Knights?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian Sea. With bases in so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar were nothing but a bunch of bankers.
Da. Eu vreau să mă joc ăsta acum, dar dacă am party mă bag și la Dota, dar nu mă bag cu cap și băieții lui, că nu știu, nu-i cunosc, nu e filmul meu acolo.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it? Dates back to the 10th century, you know. Most of the existing building was added much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
How can I get into the castle?
Well, those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Soba. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Can you tell me about the tripod which was found in the castle?
Now, there's a bone of contention and controversy. It was dug up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion.
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram, the same man who dug up the gem.
Do you know where I can find Pegram?
You're too late to meet that fella.
Is he dead?
Not that, but he's gone from the village. A soft fight with our esteemed host, I might add.
Why is Pegram's departure upset the landlord?
He's lost a paying guest, that's why. More than that, there's the question of an unsettled bid. Poor Michael seemed red over the business, and I don't blame him.
Can you tell me more about the landlord?
Mick Leary? What you call a would-be sophisticated. The trouble is, his idea of sophistication extends as far as putting paper in the lavatory. I never worked out. What's the door? Have you ever run your hand over the back of the door? The graffiti is written in Braille.
Do you know where Pegram is gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Who knows? A guilty conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmar. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down, we can get back to normal.
What can you tell me about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel?
Yes, that's right.
Another bloody news hound. But you're wasting your time here, boy. You'll find the people of Lochmar are a tight-lipped and cautious lot.
Why? Have you got something to hide?
It's just that we don't like to wash our dirty laundry in public.
Do you reckon...
No.
Goodbye for now. It was a big... Hi there, old-timer.
What?
Nasty cold. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which isn't nasty? I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born to suffer?
What did he say?
He said, it's my reward for being out all night like a St. Pius prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold.
that you're making?
It's a necklace, me bucko.
Oh, shit. Made out of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover peels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine.
Can I buy you a beer?
Very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me buck.
That's what the kid outside for.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not off.
There's no one around to stop me.
That's right. Nothing.
Have you ever seen the ghost?
To be sure.
Can you describe the ghost?
It was horrible. A wheeze.
Are you sure it wasn't a wild animal?
Skunk. In Lochmar. That'll be the day. No.
I think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochmar.
Oh.
Do you know Pegram, the archaeologist?
That's the scrawny fellow who was poking around him. No, I don't.
Could you use this towel?
I could.
You could make use of this.
Never use them. Don't.
What is it?
Nothing.
I'll see you. My name's George.
Pleased to meet you, mister. My name's Fitzgerald.
What can you tell me?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
How old?
I really couldn't tell you.
Have you ever explored the castle yourself?
I used to play there sometimes. Then one of the little ones fell off the wall, broke his head. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Can I get you another?
Oh, no, thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I want tablets of my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist.
That's right. Did you work at Professor
What gave you that idea?
See you later. Excuse me.
Hello there.
Do you know Sean Fitzgerald?
I'm not telling you anything. You can dig up your own.
Goodbye for now.
Hey! Hello there again, mister.
Do you remember seeing Sean Fitzgerald?
I think me brain box needs a...
Can I buy you a drink?
You most certainly can.
Give me a drink for my friend here.
Who? Doyle? Has he conned you into buying for him? Shame on you, Patrick.
Say again. Just a pint this time, Michael.
1 pint of brown coming up.
Do you remember Sean?
I can picture the scene as if it was only last... Come to think of it. Also, Fitzgerald was there all right. He was speaking with the boss man.
Bye for now. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
May I have another?
Certainly, sir.
Yeah.
That's each suspect. No.
Look, I gotta... Mr. Fitzgerald, Doyle told me he's seen you there. You might as well admit...
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get...
I need to talk to Professor Pegram.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he? So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. He came to see me early this morning. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the...
I can't do it.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit. So where's the harm in taking a peek?
You don't know these people. I can't.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you.
You'll kill me.
Who will?
Man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem. Hey, I just seen
Get out of here, man. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
a big red Sean Fitzgerald.
Get! Noisy little...
Maybe you should set up, not me.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy Mick.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here and I saw this pit.
Would you look at that, says I. And I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass. But the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
Hey, what? Have you ever seen it?
Slimy.
Did this pixie have a skull?
See, he was wearing a suit. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see it. Yeah.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. See you later, kid.
Okay,
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Hey, how about another...
See him again? I'll serve anyone with manners. And money.
Yo, I'm serious. Have you considered turning McDevitt's into a cocktail? Cocktails are chic.
Cool. What? Kids in the bar. Can you pinball? Pimples and puke.
All right, I get the picture.
I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be...
I can fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. It was marvelous. Here's the house. Here's the I tell you what, you can make a start on the glass one.
Okay.
When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
It was an soon as the old... I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pump?
I guess so, but I'm not making...
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right.
You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
I pushed.
It was a trap door. I looked.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was calm. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flat. It was Peagram's gem, all right. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was...
Yeah. Listen, McWat.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water. I held. I shut off.
Hi, you speak English?
Well, no. What if I was to say an implication of cognizance shrouded in denial? A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12. It was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. What can you tell me about...
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most... but if these old stones could only speak, what stories to make your toes curl and your... You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years.
Have you seen Professor Peagram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Did you happen to...
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill. Sure, it was an awful noise.
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car. The poor fella...
The driver of the Ferrari was involved.
Is that so?
Yeah. He knocked...
What an idiot.
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right...
I mean, the car.
But you'd have thought the idiot could...
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the... His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him, or that's me nephew. The idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no. But he has been abducted.
Well, that's a...
Aren't you going to look for your neck?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you can report the matter to the police.
Better not.
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle. His own flesh and...
You're right. But what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially
responsible for said hazard. It'll need some thinking about. Why, there's no problem. You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack. You don't. And warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it. Marvelous. He strode off in the direction. Stack of hay stopped, even if It was a rectangle of toweling, printed with the words, the towel was soaked through with... I inserted it remained. Statue was as I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled. The trickle of water was quickly... I eased the solid underneath. The hardened plaster...
My first Teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal. Undisturbed.
This is it for today.